Well, this all started in 2004. I had just returned from living overseas, and I realized that the first New Year's I was back, my friends seemed unsure as to what to do, and I decided that we should have a little something at my house. And it went very well. People came, people had a good time, they brought the drinks, we had a few people cook food and that type of stuff. Very low key, but it was good to see all of our people in one place, and people were satisfied with what they experienced. And as it would happen, the next New Year's, or in the summer leading up to the next New Year's, a friend of mine, Barbadian, living in Jamaica, called up, and he also had a very similar idea about extending the experience to this New Year's, 2005 now, going into 2006. So we started a plan for what would be the very first Bliss. And at that point in time, really, we just wanted to hold a New Year's Eve event or New Year's night event where all our people could come. It would be something that everyone could enjoy. There would be food, there would be drinks, etc. Again, that went off fairly well. It was very small, probably 100 and something people. But people had a really, really good time. Coming out of that, then, we decided to think more about what was missing in general from crop over. And the question again that we asked was, what is missing, not what is working. Because a lot of young promoters, they ask themselves, what is working? And they try to necessarily copy or whatever. We were asking ourselves what was missing, or what we found, or what we thought was missing at the time was an event that was somewhat a little more sophisticated. We were no longer 16 and 17 years old. Reef slippers, 3/4 jeans, and a Yaga shirt. That was not enough for us when we went out. So we decided that we would put forward a slightly more sophisticated event where people could dress casual, chic. They could get nice drinks, nice quality drinks, proper service, good food, nice location, good music, and all be amongst friends. Everyone would have a good time. So we decided we would plan for the summer of 2007. That is really the first time that Bliss took off as an event. Coming out of that event, people were really talking about the vibe and what we were trying to do, which was novel at that time: cocktail bars, endless food, etc. An all-inclusive experience that was, if you're from Jamaica or Trinidad, you would be familiar with, but if you were in Barbados, not so much. And so we tried to meet that demand at that stage. Summer of 2007, we started to realize that it was probably a little more complex or more complicated of an event than we had previously thought, because we were completely unaware when we first tried to do it. We had no real experience throwing an all-inclusive, and we had to learn from the ground up. It was a bit of a steep learning curve, understanding how complex it is to put on an all-inclusive event of the caliber that we had in mind. And so for the next event, we took probably about 4 months to plan it. The first thing was probably to run down sponsors, find a really nice location, something that would wow people. At that time, it would have been Barbados Concord Experience. No one had ever thrown a party inside of there as yet, and there only being 16 Concords left in the world. It's an extremely novel experience, so we decided we would go for it. Luckily they agreed, and we were able to have a party underneath the Concorde. But we had to coordinate all the various suppliers, import whatever it is that we needed to import that we could not get locally, contact the chefs, come up with a menu that was fitting for the type of event that we wanted to hold, bring something fresh in terms of the actual types of cocktails that we could have on demand for our patrons. As well, we brought in props for one of our events. Venetian masquerade blinds for the ladies especially, and as well for the gents, for a masquerade theme ball. We tried Lion Castle Polo Club as well. I would say that it takes 4 months of planning the overall theme of the event, determining the various service providers, negotiating with the various service providers, looking for ways to execute in novel fashion, and then coming up with a marketing plan that would work. You know, getting the right graphic designer, poring over all the details, and I think that is more than anything else what we are known for. I would say is that we pay close attention to the details. Our summer patrons engaged has been always a challenge, especially as we've been continuing to grow. So we have looked, or previously we have used different locations each time. I would say that based on last year's experience, we may have found one that we think is perfect to repeat. It is up to us now to dress it differently, to orient the layout differently, you know, to bring new experiences in terms of the food as well as the drinks, in terms of the entertainment, and all the what we call the wow factor, which is that small thing that has changed in time. For example, having hand fans for ladies when it's hot in summer, or having a bathroom lounge, you know, having a makeup station for the ladies. Whatever it is, we always try to inject something fresh and new to keep the experience novel.